Hi everybody, it's Jenny from Silver Bunny Stitches here, back for another update on what I've been up to the last couple of weeks. I've got some FFOs, fully finished objects, but in my world they're called finally finished objects because yeah, it took me quite a long time to get to that point. So yeah, I've got some of those. I've got some Christmas cards which I've made up. I've got a finished but not fully finished object. Well, it's kind of finished. We'll talk about it. And I've got my progress on the projects that I've been doing and a new start that I did as well. Very exciting. We've got everything. Oh, and we've got a haul. We have a haul. The first thing I'm going to show you is not cross-stitching related, but really quickly. My son is doing the nativity today. It's his first one, bless him. And it's called the Wriggly Nativity. It's not quite as it should be. It should be I think like a full performance, but they're just doing the songs from it, which they're filming. And my son decided he wanted to be an innkeeper, and I think I talked about in my Stitch With Me about how I was having difficulty finding him an outfit, so I decided to make him one. Look, there you go. Well, you can see that. Yes, I made him a little tabard and a little apron with a little rope around it. So yeah, it looks so cute in it. Although he was really worried this morning when we got to school because he was like, "Mummy, nobody else is in dress up," and I was like, "Yeah, that's because they're from other year groups." So we had to get out the car and check that everybody from his group was wearing fancy dress, and they were. So he went in quite happily. But yeah, so I made that, and that is. It's not like a proper clothing item because it literally was some folded fabric that I cut the neck line into with a plate. First time I used like a full-size dining plate, and it almost fell off his shoulders. It was so big. Yeah, we had to redo it with a smaller neck to it. And then I had to hem it. And apparently hemming a neckline is really difficult, which I hadn't appreciated until I started. And I was chatting to my mum later about it, and she was like, "Oh well, you should have just like snipped the fabric intervals so you could have," and I was like, "Oh, okay, no, I didn't realise that." So I just like sewed little bits at a time. It looks okay, it looks fine. It only cost me about £4.50, which was okay. I think it cost me more in effort and time to make it. It took me 2 hours to make it. It really shouldn't have taken that long, but I'm still learning with my sewing machine, and the first hem that I did, the stitches didn't catch properly, so I then had to take the bobbin out and unthread the needle and redo it all again. It was fine, but then it was like late at night with bad light, and I was trying to unpick black stitches off navy fabric, which isn't particularly easy. Right, so haul. I'll do my haul next. Ta-da! This is all the MC threads, which need to go onto bobbins still. I've got one on bobbins. I'm putting them onto bobbins as I come across the colour in the pattern. But when I originally started cross stitching, I chose Anchor as my thread of choice, and I didn't really. I mean, it was about 15 years ago, so I didn't know there was as much difference. And by that I mean all the designers tend to use DMC. There's only a few that use Anchor, and although they usually put the conversions up, or else I can convert it online, sometimes the colours just don't match. So I've taken the decision that I'm going to move on to DMC, which is really frustrating because I literally just almost got to the point where my Anchor, I almost had like every single Anchor number, but I'm going to use up my anchors. I'm just going to use them up for small projects. But yeah, so now I have to buy more bobbins, more boxes to keep my bobbins in, and a lot more threads. So, but at least I know the projects that I'm doing at the moment, all the colours are going to be, they're going to be right, they're going to look okay. So yes, so I bought those for my 2 Durin Jones patterns that I bought. So I got those, and then I got some fabric to go along with it. I got this fabric to do, it's not really the colour it looks, it's more of like a smoky blue, but that's the fabric to do my night flying one on by Durin. It's oddly, this is my first time that I have ever moved away from sort of a rustic coloured Ada, if I can find kind of a rusticy colour, or just a plain white or white with sparkles for Christmas. I've tended to be quite nervous with trying new things, and it's only really since I've got to see the sort of thing that everyone else is doing online that I've realised how nice patterns can look on colours other than white. Julian had actually used this as the backing colour for the like the picture that she put up, so I knew that it would work. So yes, so I've got that, and then I've got this one, which is just a grey really, for my Shannon Christie one, which was the white and grey, I think. Can't remember. Christmas tree, teal kind of blue colour, I think. So I've got that to do that, but I'm not starting that one yet. I kind of feel comfortable with about 6 or 7 whips on the go. If I get over that, I think I'm not going to be able to put the time and the effort into each of them, and I'll feel like I've got too many kind of things going on. So yeah, so I tend to try and stick around that mark. So I've got those, and then as part of my stitching advent calendar, I got this fabric. That's going out the right colour as well. It's kind of really mottled, so I have no idea what I'm doing with it. It was from KLT Charting, which is the company that I got my stitching advent calendar from. It's really good, enjoying it. They sent me DMZ, is it a toile, which I've never ever used before, never seen before. So I'm excited to use that. It was a red colour. I don't know what I did with the what I did with it. I'll have to see if I can find it. So yeah, so I've got those. So that was my haul, I think. I did get I got a yellow highlighter pen as part of my advent calendar. It was so funny because I got it out because you wrap them all individually, all the things that go in the advent calendar, and my son unwrapped it. He was like, "Mummy, you've got a pen." I was like, "Oh, okay." I was like, "Well, let's have a look what it was." It had no name on it, no instructions on it. And I opened it up and it had a yellow tip, and I said, "Mum, it's a highlighter." And he's, "Mummy, what's a highlighter?" And I was like, "Oh, well, why don't you colour in one of the blocks on my chart and see how it comes out, and you can see that it'll highlight it." And he did it, and he went, "Mummy, it's come out black." And we were on our way out to school, so I dropped him off school, and I came back and I was saying, husband, I was like, "It's a yellow pen. The nib of the pen is yellow. How can it come out black?" And then realised that he'd coloured in a black square on my cross stitch, and that's why it had come out black. I was like, "Oh, bless you, child." Oh, I also have a project bag. It's a project bag with my name on it. It's not technically a project bag, it's just very pretty. But in my brother's girlfriend, we usually in private refer to her as my sister-in-law, but not technically my sister-in-law yet. And my son calls her auntie. So, but yes, no, she bought me this, and I think it's technically for cosmetics, toiletries and things, but I don't have any stitching bags. My projects tend to get lost. Not my projects, the threads and things tend to get lost. So I've just discovered in the last like 6 months that project bags exist. So I saw this and thought, well, I could put one of my projects in it. So at the moment it's got my Julian Jones free Halloween cross stitch in it, and it's good. It's safe, it's not getting lost, I can find it, which is good. Right, so we've done haul, and I've showed you the nativity, fully finished things. This I finished last Halloween, maybe the Halloween before that, and it just sat in a bag, and I managed to finish it off. So I have no idea who this is by. It was part of a stitch along, and it is still available from Lakeside Needlecraft. I think it was a PDF, so no matter where you are, you can get it. but it was so cute. I love the colours and the hats and the little words. Yeah, you can see from down here. Yeah, so all I did was get some mount board and I attached it on the back. Most of it's attached with double-sided like sticky tape that I use for doing my cards, and then I just put some normal sellotape on as well to hold it down. Seems fine. I put some wadding in it as well. I think the wadding, I could probably have left it out. I don't know whether it adds to it. But yes, so that's fully finished and can go aside for next Halloween, and then it can be displayed. I may do some other little finishing thing to it when it gets to Halloween, but it's whether I see anything in the shops, which I like. And then I finished this last year. Last year I tried to make myself a stitching calendar, but stitching advent calendar, but it all went spectacularly wrong because I slipped a disc and I just couldn't do it. But I did get this one thing finished last year, but I didn't get it fully finished, which is stupid because all I needed to do to finish it fully was to slide this onto this reindeer hanger. It really wasn't a difficult thing to do, but for some reason it didn't get done. So it's this really cute little hanging reindeer. And I want to say I got it from Willow Fabrics, but I don't know. It was definitely somewhere from the UK. But they sent me out the entire kit. But I don't know. I thought I'd sent it the reindeer correctly. I really did, but he's more over to one side than the other. But yeah, he's finished and he looks good and nice, and I like him. But I loved the little reindeer hanger for it. So that I'm going to attach some string or maybe some tinsel. I don't know. I have some thin tinsel too, and he's going to go up on the wall and he can be displayed for like the first time ever. Oh, I meant to get my other stitching things. Basically, the cross stitch that I have for Christmas, it's all up in the house, but it's just basically displayed as it was. So it's just displayed sort of like with raggedy edges on it, and it's just stuck up, which is not great. So other fully finished things. I don't remember doing these, but I had a slip disc color in the year, so I'll have done them then. But I made them up the other week into little cards. A lot of these ones, all the ones with little circles around them, most of them are mouse loft kits. You can get them off Amazon. They're really cheap, and they come with the little cards. Whoop! Where? Jumping, getting away. It's alive. So all you do is put them in. Oh, that one's not sealed down properly. And then I just add some embellishments around. So there's llama, which I should send that to my best friend because she loves alpacas, and alpacas, llamas, yeah, almost the same. Don't tell her I said that. They're not the same, apparently, but they do look the same. This is, I'm sure this is Durin Jones, the snowman, and I just happen to have a mouse loft kind of card hanging around, which probably means I have a mouse loft pattern without a home. Yeah, I had a little snowman. Do it. This one I don't have an envelope for, so I'll have to go and hunt it out. I'm about to write these, which is why I brought them downstairs. Cute little owl posting his letter. I do like the mouse loft kits. They're you can get something done and there's a real sense of achievement, and it hasn't taken you very long to do it because a lot of cross stitches take a long time. This one took an awful long time. You wouldn't think it from him. But again, I think this is a kit. This is a kit I literally bought years and years and years ago. I think they were for ornaments, but I decided that I'd make them, turn them into cards instead. But he took forever to do, absolutely forever. And some of it was really, I'm not great about, I open a cross stitch or a pattern and I'm like, I know how to cross stitch, I can do this. So I don't tend to read the instructions, which I'm finding now that you really do need to read them, because sometimes it's not, it'll be like a half stitch, or this one had quite a few stitches. I think the purple background, they're single lengths of thread. So if you do what I do and just happily charge on, doing kind of 2 lengths of DMC or anchor, then you end up not having enough to finish all the projects that they've put in because you're using double what you should. And there's my little French knots. I'm not I don't love French knots. I don't hate them, but I haven't really managed to get them the same size. So yeah. Anyway, so he's done, and they had this cute one. Jingle bells. I love him. So cute. He doesn't have an envelope either. I thought I'd got them all, but obviously I didn't. And this is the last one. Usually I do loads more, but this year I just spent a lot of time stitching a massive sample off my mum. So I didn't end up with much time. You're going to focus? Focus. Yeah, so happy holidays and a snow globe. I think that one was quite hard to do. I remember that one being quite hard. And it doesn't look like it should be. Right, so those are my fully finished things I've got. And the next one is my finish, which I got my dinosaurs finished. Technically, it's finished. And I say technically because I have a big stain of something that we don't know what it is here. You can't see it in this light, really. But it is very obvious when you're just looking at it. So I went on Stitch Mania and asked for some advice on what I could do. I've tried like OxyClean, I've tried Vanish soap that my mum has, I've tried washing up liquid, nothing's moving it. So I think I'm probably going to put some more clouds in coming out of the volcano around here, and then it won't be as obvious because it's not going to be a big block blue. That's what I think I'm going to do. Yeah. Again, if I had a project bag, maybe it wouldn't have happened. I tend to be quite a messy individual, so I'm not the best at taking care of things. I don't know what I got on it. I don't know why I didn't wash it at the time. Although I suffer from chronic pain. It's been better recently, but yeah. And sometimes even the smallest kind of things, you can't necessarily do them because you only have a certain amount of energy during the day, and especially when you have a child, it tends to go on the child, and then there isn't really much left over for anything else. But so that's that one done. So that's the finished and the fully finished and the haul. So now I just need to talk about the ongoing projects. So this, I think I discussed this. Anyway, this is my Harry Potter sampler. It's from Cunning Cross Stitch. They're online. Yeah, of course they're online. They're on Facebook, and I think he's got a blog of it as well where you can get the patterns from. So it's basically a set of different like envelopes. Let's see. I hope you can see. Can I see? I can see through the fabric. There we are. That's good. So yeah, it's different bits of parchment, and then the different bits of parchment have the different years that you go to Hogwarts in. So I think I talked about it before, but I'm doing the first year, which is which house to get sorted into. And I'm a Hufflepuff, so that's the start of my Hufflepuff banner. Haven't really got much worked on this because I started a new project. So yeah, I haven't really got far with it. And it hasn't really come up on the spinning roulette choices wheel that my son does. This has come up, this During Jones project is just taking, I love it, but it's just taking forever. I have worked on it. It did come out of the, can I see through? Aha, sort of. So I worked some more on the treat word, and I did some more of this one, and I started doing the back stitch here, but I don't know, it's a simple pattern. There isn't that much there, but it is just taking me forever. I don't know whether I'm just rolling it on nights where I'm not feeling like cross-stitching much, but I just look at it and I think, you know, you should be able to get that done in a couple of days, but it's just not happening. We'll plod away at it. It'll be finished by next Halloween, and that's all that really matters, isn't it? Hey, it might even be a fully finished object. No, it won't. The next one is very exciting. I started one of the Joanne Jones ones. This is the night flying one, which is the witches on the broom. Yeah, you're peeking. So it's actually, it's my first time gridding. I'd seen people gridding online, and I thought, I'd like to give it a go. I watched a YouTube tutorial. I was like, let's just not like charge into this without knowing what we're doing because it will go wrong. So I was like, let's watch a YouTube video. I've got some special sulky, I think, thread coming for Christmas, hopefully. But I was like, I can just rid it up with something else for the meantime because it's not a massive coverage project. But I was like, that way I'll be able to give it a go, see how it goes. So I did what I should do, which they recommended gridding the outside border first. So I gridded it all and counted it all. Go back to the front. Yeah, is that the top? Yeah, go back to the top. One stitch out. I was like, oh God. Had to unpick half of it to get back to the bottom where I'd miscounted by one stitch. And then I had to redo all that again. And I was like, right, okay, that's fine. And then I was like, well, next I'll start going across. I'll do the short waist. So I miscounted again, but didn't realise until I started putting some of the downwards ones in. So what they should look like is here. Come on, focus. Focus. You don't usually have problems focusing, but yeah. So focus. Yeah, there should be almost 4 squares there, blank. It's fine, we're on one where I've stuffed it up. See there, it's out. So I was like, I'd done so much of it and I was so angry. It was like 10 o'clock at night and I was like, I'm not unpicking it. So I just have to be aware when I get to the top that they are 10 by 10, but they don't look like the other squares do. But actually, once I'd gridded it, it's working really well. I'm enjoying the actual cross stitch because I feel it gives me more freedom as to where I want to go. But yeah, so I've got the end of Halloween because usually I'd start a project in the middle, so being able to start at a corner for me was quite different. And I've got the legs of the witch coming in and the broom. There is quite a lot of black border, which is, yeah, it's not the most interesting stitch, but what I'm tending to do is to say to myself, I'll do like two sort of strands of thread here and then treat myself to doing something on here so that I don't have to sit and do boring stitching for a long period of time, and neither do I have to get to the end and go, oh, I have to go back and do that. I tend to do that with my back stitching as well, and I'll do it as I go along. Don't hate back stitching, but definitely don't want to do it all in one go. This is my morning caffeine. I don't drink coffee or tea, so this is what wakes me up in the morning. Pepsi. Right, I'm not particularly organised. I hadn't got my mum and my dad's, my dad's project out of the hoop. So I'll just do that now. I didn't get Mickey Mouse out. I have worked on Mickey Mouse, but all I did was his foot. So it was just like infilling yellow. That was really boring. I treated myself to doing some black around the edge of the foot. Anyway, so this is my dad's one. We've got up as far as Fife, I think, Scotland. So this is going to be Fife, I think, up here. Yes, so we've got Glasgow done. I think most of Edinburgh. I just have some back stitching to do. There's a puffin. Can't wait to do the puffin. Yes. And there seem to be a lot of bottles of beers around here, so I'm assuming that's either, I don't know, whiskey, Scotland whiskey. I know whiskey's in the Highlands. There's a Highland cow, but I haven't finished them off yet. And then we go up into the Orkneys, and then I need to do the title for it. But also, we started France. Now, France doesn't have, it just says, it's just going to say France in it. It doesn't have any places of interest because it's Great Britain. I'd started it, I'd done a massive patch here, and I'd done a massive patch here in the green, and I lost the green. I don't remember seeing the green since I went on a holiday in October to a caravan. So suspect might have been lost under the sofa there. Could not find colour match because I didn't note down what anchor I was using because it didn't matter. They were all in one bag. I knew what it was by looking at it. It did matter because when you lose it, you can't find it again. I can't colour match because nowhere near me sells anchor threads anymore. Everywhere's either shut down or they've just moved on to doing DMC, which is very annoying, including the massive Hobbycraft where you think they could have both of them, but no, they don't. So I couldn't colour match the anchor, so I was like, right, well, I'll just buy the DMC and hopefully it'll be the same colour. I had to unpick probably about 400 stitches. Not a good day. Very, very angry, Jenny. So I unpicked it all and I started restitching it, and I had like a Skype kind of call with my friend the other day, my best friend, where we put the same video on our TVs and then we got Skype up and chatted over it. So we tried to sync the videos about a second out, which was a bit bizarre, but yeah, it worked. It was good. And I just sat and worked on this because I was like, I don't need to pattern, don't need to concentrate, just need to stitch. Lost the thread. So angry. I was saying to my husband, I was like, I have not got up off this sofa. I was like, this thread is somewhere. We got the dog off the sofa. I took all the sofa cushions off. I, just checked down the back of the sofa to see if it had gone down there. I took everything off the table, searched everything. I even checked in the little bin that I have on my table to see if I could find it. I was looking in my shoes on the floor in case this thread had fallen off, and in the end I just gave up. I was just like, me and this France, not friends at all. So we put France aside for a little bit. I came down the next day, shook out one of my blankets and the thread fell out. And I was like, I shook that blanket out twice, and it did not fall out. Calm. I was so angry. So yes, I still don't think I'm going to get this finished. My dad's birthday is the 6th of January. So yeah, it's probably not going to get done. But it'll be almost done. It'll be almost there. But yes, I think that's everything I had to show you today. So hopefully I will be able to do another stitch with me next week. But after that, I'm not quite sure how much I'll be able to update because my son is home from school, and my son is not one of those children who will sit and happily play quietly by himself. He wants to be with you all the time, doing what you're doing, or bossing you around and getting you to do what he wants to do. So the chance of me getting even 10 minutes, not great. So we'll see. You never know. Usually I'd chip him off with grandma and granddad, but I can't at the moment because we're in tier 2, which means we're not really supposed to, definitely not in the house, meet other people. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. But yes, I hope everyone's staying safe. And I hope you're all almost ready for Christmas. And I will see you all next week. Okay, bye.